Do you know why a normal queue wastes memory? In this video, I will show you how a circular queue using array solves that problem efficiently. So hello everyone, in today's video, we are going to learn circular queue using array implementation step by step. If you have watched the previous video, you already know the concept. Now, we will move to the coding, logic and dry run part. All right. So first, we have to declare our queue, right? So here I am declaring first define max size. Okay, so I'm writing here size. Okay, here I'm writing size as 5. Suppose you can give your way. Okay, I'm writing int q. Okay, and giving here size. Done. So this is how we can declare array. Okay, this is a simple one. This is how we can declare array, right? I have given array name as q. All right. Now I want to write here front and rear. So right now front, we don't have any kind of value. So I'm writing here front as -1 and rear also -1. Okay. So here front points to the first element and rear points to the last element. Now we have to perform the enqueue operation, that is the insertion. So now let's understand how to insert an element into the circular queue. So first step, we have to create a function, right? We are creating here function void enqueue I'm writing. Okay, we have to give here a value, which value we want to insert. So we are writing insert value here. Done. So now first we have to check what we have. The queue is full or not. So how we can say it? So let me do a dry run for you. So if I am having here a circular queue, okay. So this is 0 index, 1 index, 2 and 3. Okay. Uh, let me do it for 5, size 5. Okay. So here I have queue. Okay, so this is 0 index, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 5 elements we can store, right? Right now I said front is -1 and rear is -1. But here we are writing enqueue. First we are doing insertion. So when we want to do insert a new element, if we have already full elements here, suppose we have these values. All right. So if the values are full, means we don't have any space left. Okay, that means what? That is full now, queue is full. So what will be the condition? So front is pointing this location, right? And rear is pointing this location, right? Please check my previous video. I have told all concept here of circular queue. Okay, then only you will get to know why front is 0, why rear is 4. Okay, so rear and front we have 0 and 4. Okay, so if the condition says what? Condition says if front is equal to 0 and rear is size -1, that means queue is full. Are you getting a point? That means queue is full. So can we write a condition for it? Yes, we can write. Okay. Now there will be one more condition. Please write that condition in a chat box. Then I will tell you what will be the condition. So first, let's write condition for it. So here I'm writing if inside enqueue, now we have to write. So front if front is equal to 0, okay, and one more condition, if and as rear is equal to size -1. Okay, this will be the condition. Here now front is 0 and rear is what? 4. So size -1, 5 -1, that means 4. Okay, if this condition is true, then it will say what? It will say queue is full. All right. Now tell me the more condition. One more condition we have to apply here. Can you write it? Have you done writing? Okay. So let's take a scenario for it. Here I have a queue. Okay. So earlier it was full. Suppose this is 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. All right. So front is pointing this location and rear is pointing this location. Okay. If we deleted the element, हमने जब delete कर लिया element को, तो फिर हमारा क्या होगा? यहाँ पे डिलीट हो गया, ठीक है। Okay, wait. So we have deleted the element. So we have deleted, yes. So this was your queue. Here was 50. Okay. So now front is not pointing this location. Front is pointing this location. It was 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? Now you want to delete one more element. You have deleted this. Done? Okay. Now front is what? Front is pointing. So front is now pointing which location? Front is pointing second location. This is front, right? This is your rear. Done. Now, from rear end we have to insert, front say we have to delete. If I said I want to insert more elements here, so I am now inserting 60. So 60 will insert here. So now your rear will say pointing this location. Yes. Okay, done. Now you are saying 70 I want to अपडेट है ना, 70 को मुझे इंसर्ट करने का है. सो नाउ रेयर इज पॉइंटिंग विच लोकेशन, कौन सी लोकेशन पॉइंट कर रहा है? सो रेयर इज पॉइंटिंग दिस लोकेशन. ओके. नाउ here you can check the queue is full. Here also na queue is full, right? So you can say if your front or rear means you will say here if your rear plus 1 if you'll do that value exactly the same as your front. So what is rear? Rear is 1. 1 plus 1 become 1 plus 1 become 2. 2 is now the front value, front index you can say. Are you getting a point? From where you will delete. So that is also a scenario where you can say what queue is full. Okay. So this is how we can say. Now what will the condition for it? हम condition कैसे इसके लिए लगाएंगे? So we can simply say front is equal to rear plus 1. If this condition is also there, then that is okay. You can say queue is full. So if this condition is true, that means queue is full. Okay. So now let's write down. So here I'm writing. So if this condition is true, or you can say or you can say front is equal to rear plus 1. Okay. Then if this both condition, that is what, that is and. Okay. And this is or. So this both condition if true, okay, and if it is true, right, so you have to check the scenario for it. So these two scenario I told you why I'm writing front equals to 0 and rear equals to size minus 1. So this is the first condition, first scenario where we have all elements filled, but rear was pointing the last location and front was pointing the first location. Okay. Now this is a second scenario. What is the second scenario? Where front you will say is equal to rear plus 1. So rear is what? Rear is 1 and front is 2. So when you will calculate it, you will say front is 2 and rear plus 1 is also 2. So both condition true, right? That how you can check it. Okay. So this is a and. If both condition is true, then it will check this also. Then it will assume there. इनमें से कोई भी condition अगर true हो जाए, if ये true हो जाए या ये true हो जाए, तो answer true ही आएगा. But अगर both condition are false, that means false. Okay. But in this inside वाला आप देखोगे, let me clean it first. अगर आप इन ये वाला देखोगे, ये ट्रू है, ये भी ट्रू है, तो ही दोनों ट्रू होगा. ठीक है, इसका पूरा ट्रू होगा. यू नो ना हाउ वी कैन सॉल्व ट्रू स्टेबल, यू नो आई थिंक. एंड का ट्रू स्टेबल आई थिंक यू नो वेरी वेल. ओके, प्लीज चेक दैट ऑल्सो. Okay, so this is how we can write it. So this is a main condition in a circular queue. In a previous linear queue mein, there was one scenario where front is greater than rear. So that is a scenario for a linear queue only, simple queue ke liye. But this is a circular queue. All right, done. So if you have any kind of doubt, write in a chat box. Okay, so if this condition is true, that means queue is full. So you can simply write here a condition, statement that see out queue is full, or you can say overflow condition, your wish. Okay, that is the handle now. Done. So this is a one condition. Now if not full. अगर full नहीं हुआ, so अच्छा, let me take a scenario for you. So here we have circular cube. Okay. If there is no element, तो condition ये भी तो हो सकती है ना कि अगर आपका full नहीं है तो इसका मतलब उसमें कोई element है ही नहीं या कहीं कहीं पे element है. So if there is no element, that means this will work. Front and rear is both what? -1. Terminator लगा लो इसमें यार. Wait. So here you have to write terminator also. Okay. So front equals to -1 and rear equals to -1. Okay. Then step 2 will be what? If the queue is empty. अगर queue empty है तो हमें क्या करने का है? Front. तो इसका मतलब क्या है? We have to check ना front is equal to -1 or not. If it is equal to -1, then we have to set rear. Okay. And front both as 0. So just write down rear and front both as 0. Done. Okay. If front is equals to -1, that means there is no element in your circular queue. So if it is, then we have to set rear as well as front both 0. Okay. Otherwise, if this condition is not true, then it will go in a else part. Okay. So make it inside bracket. Okay. Now go to the else part and change rear. So I have told a formula also to you. ठीक है, मैंने आपको फॉर्मूला बता रखा है. बताइए क्या फॉर्मूला है? राइट डाउन इन अ चैट बॉक्स. So what will the formula? Write down, come on. So here the formula is. What is the formula? We have to increase our rear. How it will increase? It will check. Okay. It will check the condition as rear plus 1. Okay. Rear plus 1 modulus and size. It will check this one. Okay. And then pass that value to the rear. It will update the rear. Okay. So this is how we can write it. This is a simple one. If you have any kind of query, please write in the chat box. Okay, so we have to check front is equal to -1. If it is -1, that means we have to set rear and front both 0. Otherwise, else part, we have to say rear is equal to rear plus 1. Okay, modulus size. We have to go for that. Okay, now whatever value you are saying, it will be storing in the rear. Rear index में जाएगा ना. Okay, so we are saying Q of rear will get the value of whatever value you have passed in a parameter. This parameter you have passed now. Okay. Int value you have passed this. Done. Okay. So this value we are writing in a queue of rear. So whatever the rear index value is. Okay. Let's check the scenario first. So if you have, okay, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Chalo, this is 4. Okay. Now, if you don't have any element, that means this condition, this scenario works, that front is equal to -1. Okay. So you will say rear or front both will get the 0 value. Means rear भी इसको भी point कर रहा है and front भी इसको point कर रहा है. ठीक है ना? Okay. Alright. So front and rear both pointing to 0 index. So this else part will not work now. Right? Then it will say Q of rear. What is Q? Q is the array name. है ना? So Q of rear. What is Q of rear? Rear is 0. So Q of 0. That means 0 index may provide the value of whatever value you have passed. Suppose you are passing 10. So 10 will store in this index. So this is how we are doing it. Done. Right. Now here is one value. Now again it will say, okay. So now again it will say, okay, wait. So here again it will say call this function. You are calling this function again. Okay, value you are passing 20. Suppose it will check again for this condition. This condition become false as q is not full. Now it will check this value. Front is equal to -1. No. Now this time this condition will not work. Let me erase it. Okay. Now this time this condition will not work. Which condition? This condition will not work. As front is not -1, front is 0. सो एल्स पार्ट में हम जाएंगे और फिर क्या करेंगे? रेयर, रेयर प्लस 1. व्हाट इज रेयर? रेयर इज 0 ना, प्लस 1. दैट मीन्स दिस बिकम 1. But here you are doing modulus of size. What is size? 5 size. Size is 5. When you will find this, the remainder you will say as 1. So that means rear will get the value of 1. So where is rear? Rear is this. So rear is pointing this one. Now provide the queue of rear. Queue of 1 will get the value of 20. So 20 will store here. Now rear is not pointing this location. Done. So this is how we can insert value. Okay. This formula you should remember it. Earlier in a linear queue, we were doing rear plus 1 only. Rear is equal to rear plus 1 we were doing. But in this change only. ये change हुआ है. बाकी और सारा का सारा scenario same है. Okay. As we are seeing here, no wastage. So no wastage of memory. That means we can reuse it once the element deleted in that particular location. Okay. So this is how we can do enqueue. Now let's write down inside int main. हम int main के अंदर इसे कॉल कराते हैं किसको enqueue को. So let's call enqueue here. We don't have any class. I didn't create any class for you here. This is a simple function. Okay. User defined function. This is okay. This is how we can define function. That is a user defined, and this is how you can call simple enqueue. Call करा दो इसको enqueue, but inside it you have to pass some value. I'm writing 10. Okay. Done. Right. And if you want to add a new line here, so yes, you can add a line as well if you want to. Okay. But you can write here see out. You can say queue of rear. Okay. Inserted. Oh, inserted. Okay. So you can write like that and handle. Done. So you can simply write this line if you want to. Otherwise, you can simply have a display function, okay, where you will use a for loop, and from front to rear, you will print all the elements like that way. Okay. Now let's run this code. It will say 10 inserted. Okay. Now, if you want to insert more, enqueue, all right, and you are writing 200, right? Run it again. So here you are running. It will say 10 and 200 inserted. Okay, so this is how we can insert the elements. Done. If you have any kind of query, write in a chat box. Now, let's write down how we can dequeue, means delete. So I'm writing here void dequeue function. Dequeue function. What is this function basically all about? How you can create function? Just write down the return type of it. I'm writing here void. That's why I'm not returning any kind of thing here. We are just doing some operation here, nothing else. Okay. And this is the function name dequeue that you can change yourself. And inside these parameter, round brackets, you have to write the parameters inside. Okay. Now, if you want to dequeue, अगर आपको dequeue करने का है, means delete करने का है, तो हमें क्या करते हैं? हम इसमें क्या करेंगे? पहले हमें चेक करना पड़ेगा कि queue is empty or not. अगर queue empty है, तो how you can delete? है ना? Queue आपकी ऐसी है अभी right now. There is no element such. Suppose. Okay. वैसे तो we have element, 2 elements we have inserted already here. Okay. But right now, we are not giving any value. So means queue is empty. So which you will delete? Nothing we can't delete. So for that also we have to write a condition. Now I'm writing a condition here if front is equal to -1. यही तो होगी condition, right? अगर हमारा front equal to -1 है, that means what? Simply write here see out queue is empty, or you can say underflow. Okay. And done. Okay. So this is a simple condition. Now you want to delete. So suppose you have elements now. So now you have elements 10. This is 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, 3 index, 4 index. Okay. You have element 10 and 200. All right. Now, so front is this now and rear is this. Done. So which will delete? We have to delete from the front. So इसको हमें front को delete करने का है. So आपके array का नाम क्या है पहले तो? Array का नाम है हमारा queue. Okay. So you will say simple here see out queue of front. So queue of front इसका मतलब इसका क्या मतलब हुआ? Queue of front. Front is what? 0. Okay. So queue of 0. So 0 index that is 10. Simply write here deleted. Okay. Handle. Done. A simple line we are writing. Now we have to change it. What we have to change? What we have, there is a formula. Can you write a formula? In a chat box, write down a formula. Formula लिखो कैसा क्या है इसमें. Okay, so we have done this. All right, so chalo write down. इसको डिलीट नहीं करना है मेरे को. चलो ठीक है, ऐसे आ जाएगा सामने. Now write down. चलो, that's good. Now tell me how we can do it. Once we have said this line is for the output only. Okay, ये line आपके लिए output के लिए है, simple. Now tell me what we have to do. We have to change front as front plus 1 modulus size. Okay, before it we have to set one more thing. So let me tell you scenario of it first. Okay, suppose you don't have this value. Okay, so your rear and front both pointing to this zero index. Okay, हमारा zero index में ही point कर रहा है rear भी और front भी. So there is only one element. That means if in the queue you have only one element, so that means what? You have to set both na rear and front, both को we have to set -1. So if both having same value, that means there is only one element. So for that you have to write, for that also you have to write a condition. Okay, let me write it. I'm writing here if front is equal to rear. अगर front equal to rear हो गया, that means what? Front and rear both will get the value of -1. क्यों -1? क्योंकि वो जीरो को पॉइंट कर रहा है ना दोनों वैल्यू, है ना. तो जीरो के बाद क्या आएगा? -1 ही तो आएगा. तो -1 का that means there is no element, so you have deleted 10 also. ठीक है. But if you have more than one element, 200 you have, 300 you have, suppose, so this is your rear now. Rear is not pointing this location. Okay. Now here, so there is a scenario different. So you have to set this front as front equals to front plus 1 modulus size. Okay. So this thing you can write in a else part. So in a else part, you can write front is now front plus 1 and modulus size. Done? So you simply do as, no? आप कर सकते हो ऐसे. Now how it works? तो आपकी कैसे काम करेगा? अगर ये वाला सिनेरियो फॉल्स है तो अब आपके पास दो वैल्यूज है ना, मोर देन वन वैल्यू यू हैव. सो नाउ जस्ट राइट डाउन दिस फ्रंट. व्हाट इज फ्रंट? फ्रंट इज 0 ना, सो 0 प्लस 1. Okay, modulus size. What is size? 5. Okay, so this is 1 modulus 5. So now you will say remainder as 1. Okay, so how we can do it? Do not do like this बेटा, ऐसे नहीं करने का. कंप्यूटर साइंस में अब ऐसे नहीं करते हम कि पॉइंट वैल्यू ले लेंगे और जीरो लगा देंगे, जीरो. नो, दिस इज रॉन्ग. ओके, इन दिस कंप्यूटर साइंस वी हैव इंटीजर टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स. तो इंटीजर टाइप में ही करोगे, हमारे पास कोई फ्लोट वैल्यू नहीं आती है. ठीक है ना, फ्लोट वैल्यू इंटीजर में नहीं आएगी. तो हमें ये नहीं लेने का है. हमें क्या करने का है? सिंपल 5 1 है ये, तो 0 से जाएगा. 5 0 0. तो नाउ यू विल गेट रिमाइंडर एज दिस. ओके, सो दिस इज योर रिमाइंडर. आपको इस तरीके से सॉल्व करना होता है. डन. डन. ओके, सो दिस इज हाउ वी कैन डिलीट. तो आपका 1. तो दैट मीन्स now this front is not pointing this location, as it is pointing location 1. So just write down 1 here. So sorry, so just do what? This is also front. ओके, सो जब आपने फ्रंट को बोल दिया 1 है, तो दैट मीन्स दिस इज नॉट लॉन्गर इन योर सर्कुलर. ओके, so now call your deque. I am now removing it. If you have doubt, please write in a chat box. I will surely reply to your comment. Okay, so now I am saying here deque. आप कॉल कर लो deque को. deque को कॉल कर लिया. Here we don't need to pass anything. Done. Now run this code. So run. So it will say 10 insert, 20, 200 inserted and 10 deleted. So only 2 times you are calling enqueue. Okay. Now if you want to check this condition, queue is empty, this condition queue is full. Okay. Then how we can do it? Okay. So first I am calling deque here. deque को call करा रही हूँ मैं. So here I'm calling deque first. Done. From this deque, it will say there is no element. Front is -1 right now, so queue is empty. ओके क्यू आपकी एम्प्टी है, तो अब आप एम्प्टी में डिलीट कर रहे हो तो कैसे होगा डिलीट? ठीक है, रन करो. सो राइट नाउ क्यू इज एम्प्टी, दैट मीन्स जीरो डिलीटेड, कुछ डिलीट नहीं हुआ. नाउ आफ्टर दिस, ये कहाँ से आया? फ्रॉम दिस लाइन मीन्स फ्रॉम दिस लाइन. Okay, so Q front 0. There is nothing element, so 0 deleted. कुछ delete नहीं हुआ. Now next it will say NQ 100. Sorry, 10 and PQ 200. So 100 inserted, 200 inserted, done. Now it will say DQ again. Okay, so DQ means what? 10 deleted. So जो भी आपकी पहली inserted front value है, that will delete. Now if you want to check Q is full, how it will check? So first you have to insert all that setting NQ 500, NQ 600. Okay, we have to insert 5 elements. We have deleted one element already. Okay, so we have to insert 2 more elements. Q is right down here, 700. Done. One more element, 800. Done. Okay. Now, if I want, अब देखो इसमें तो आपका फुल हो गया ना, मतलब आपने 10 को डाला, 200 डाल दिया, 500 डाल दिया, पर आपने डिलीट कर दिया 10 को, तो अब आपके पास 200 है. तो 200 इंसर्टेड, 500, 600, 700 एंड 800. नाउ यू वांट टू अगेन इंसर्ट अ वैल्यू, आपको एक और वैल्यू इंसर्ट करने का है. ओके, अब आपने इंसर्ट क्या करवा दिया, जस्ट सपोज आपने 90 इंसर्ट करवा दिया. ठीक है, बट इसमें वो क्या बोल देगा, एंड भाई क्यू इज फुल, क्यू ऑलरेडी फुल है. ठीक है. नाउ it will say queue is empty. First it will say 10, 200, 10 deleted. So now 500 you have, 600, 800 you have inserted. Now it will say queue is full, right? And this 90 insert, where it will insert? In somewhere memory. कहीं ना कहीं मेमोरी में इंसर्ट होगा जो कि आपके इस फ्रंट से अटैच होगा. ओके, हेयर, यहाँ से इस वाली लाइन से it will attach. Okay, so if you want to ignore this line, that is also okay. So what we have to do here when we are writing a condition, right? So when we are writing a condition, so just write down here return as well. So it will return back to the main function, है ना? It will jump out from this overall this function से ही वो jump out होके into main में आ जाएगा. यहाँ पे भी आप यही लिखोगे. ठीक है, return 0, no, return only. Okay. As we are writing here void, that's why we are not returning anything. We just simply returning without any value, right? Done. Okay, now run this code. So this is first you're saying here as you're doing a deque first, so it will say queue is empty. You inserted 10, 200, done. You deleted 10 front value, so 10 is deleted. Now 500 you are inserting, 600 you are inserting, 7, okay, 800, done. But when you are doing 90, okay, for this it will say queue is full. Queue आपका full है. So here queue is full. So it will show you that if all elements inserted, if the size is 5, all elements are inserted. So later it will say queue is full. So all operation are very effective. So enqueue, when you are performing, the time complexity is one, big O one. When you are performing dequeue, okay, that is also big O one. So you have to remember, circular queue basically utilizes memory efficiently, avoid false overflow, uses wrap around concept, perform operation in a constant time. All right, this is a simple circular queue, and I have done dry run also, right, with the help of diagram. So you can just check that thing also. In my previous video, I have already discussed all points of circular queue. Okay, so please check that video as well. So if you found this video helpful, do not forget to like and share with your friends. Okay, so in the next video, we will cover circular queue using linked list. Okay, and we will check also the time complexity of it. Okay, subscribe to my channel and keep learning. Thank you so much. We'll meet in the next video.